Notebook. The most famous love story on the planet is about cheating. Bridges of Madison County is about cheating. Titanic is cheating. Pearl Harbor is cheating.
He used Twitter to share hundreds of images and messages involving
drugging women, including his patients, and secretly recording videos as he committed sex crimes against them.
Colt Gray is a 14-year-old boy who now faces 4 counts of felony.
Welcome back to Kingston Reviews. Derek here. Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. I really appreciate it. Today's video is going to be about a guy that has his own channel. It's ho_math. I don't typically get into relationship stuff. That's not stuff I really want to talk about. I'm much more concerned with cultural shifts, things that are going to affect the country on a whole, and that's what I wanted to talk about. But he makes some excellent points about things that are affecting all of us, and I wanted to talk about that with you guys. Also wanted to give a big shout out to all the people that subscribe to the channel, all the people that comment, even the ones that I don't agree with your comments. I really appreciate the conversation. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you.
We might be stuck in a pattern of civilizational collapse, and it's because our relationships are not as strong as they used to be. This video is a long overdue answer to the question, why is promiscuity bad? The answer is kind of complicated. Let's start with this. Why would promiscuous behavior, as pictured here, cause a collapse of civilization? I put together this map. It's originally created by Ken Wilber. This is just my easy to read version, as a quick reference for developmental psychology, how people's minds develop individually from birth until wherever you stop, and how that affects the development of society and culture. And over here, there's this little grid that shows the individual mind and culture, and individual behavior and society. The way that people's minds work is going to form a culture. The way that culture works is going to shape society. The way that society works is going to influence your mind, and the way your mind works will influence your behavior. All these things are interrelated. So society, which we depend on for everything we have, is based on the way that we relate to each other, which is falling apart very quickly, due in large part to acceptance of promiscuous behavior. Here's a bunch of little heartbreaks and lower relationships.
So what he's basically saying is that the society is becoming more individualistic, right? Me first, like what do I want? And what you're seeing from this is an increase in the divorce rates from 40 to 50% on first marriages, 60 to 70% on second marriages. And then from that, you also have people that are saying, hey, nothing's wrong. And so you have an increase in pornography, right? There's no right or wrong. So that everyone's using pornography, which has caused an increase in sexual crimes.
Breaking news now at noon, a baseball coach has been arrested.
Orlando police say he used Twitter to share hundreds of images and messages involving child. 45-year-old Timothy Shea was arrested last week after an 11-month investigation.
In addition to that, you have individuals that are now part of a broken family with poor values, and it creates situations where people are unable to find healthy peer bonds at a young age, and I believe it creates school shooters such as this.
Colt Gray is a 14-year-old boy who now faces 4 counts of felony murder. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation and its officials say that Colt Gray took an AR-15 style rifle with him to Appalachian High School in Winder, Georgia last Wednesday, September 5th, and started shooting.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Now, before you guys come for me in the comments saying that I'm blaming women for all of the problems of the world, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that these things are just a simple repercussion of things that are actually happening and things that have changed, okay? But let's go ahead and get back to his video.
Unable to understand each other, we tend to do what we want instead of thinking about what's right. Basically, when people are allowed to do whatever they want, it degrades us from this stable model of courtship and relationship formation to this unstable one. In the old one, we could have stable marriages that were enforced by social conventions, and in the new one, there's a few guys who get all the attention that they can handle, and so they don't commit to women, and therefore most of the women get played and dumped over and over, and these guys get no attention, and that makes everyone unhappy, and it also is really bad for stable marriages that produce children. And this model is only possible when people believe I can do whatever I want and you can't judge me.
So I don't want you guys to think that I'm changing this into a relationship channel. Really, that is not my main focus, but I really think that we were designed by God. I think that we are meant to be in relationships with people. And I think that the fact that overall relationships are breaking down is really important to our culture. And I wanted to talk about it, and that's what he's talking about here. I believe he's actually making some really good points. But more importantly, let me know what you guys think. Is he on the right track? Do I not know what I'm talking about? Let me know in the comments below. I think it's really important that we have a conversation about this stuff.
If you allow people to behave like this, then they stop building this and it turns into this. Modern people believe that the world is made of individuals. It is actually made of relationships. In the same way that a pile of bricks is not a building. In order for the building to work, the bricks have to be arranged in a certain way. They have to be connected. And once the bricks start saying, I don't want to be part of a building anymore, I want to do me, then the building starts decaying. And then the other bricks say, well, if you're not doing your job, then I won't do my job. And we go from
it's a cycle, a never-ending cycle. So this is one of the best points in his video so far, where he's talking about how individualistic everybody has become. And if you think about all the current social issues that we have, they are all surrounding about individual choice and choosing things for the individual and what is good for me first. Well, what's good for me first may not be good for everyone in total as a society. And that's what we're talking about here.
This decay is the sexual revolution, which is actually just a decay. It's reverse development. We are going from higher levels down to lower ones. I've been over this in previous videos. This one's called Saturday Scaries. Basically, all cultures have to grow through these levels. You can't skip stages. And when a culture develops from this low impulsive stage to the rules and roles stage, they come up with strict social norms, and they eventually grow to the achiever stage, which is like corporate, keeping up with the Joneses, and eventually into this sensitive, individualistic hippie stage where people start saying, hey man, everyone's like unique and we should all do what we want, bro. And at that stage, they have a tendency to get rid of the rules at this stage, and then all of the new people who are born, because everyone's born at stage 1, they don't have any rules to learn to grow up to the next stages, and it causes developmental arrest, and people get stuck down here. That's what we're experiencing right now.
There's a lot of Americans in that first 3. So I wanted to play a funny clip from the movie called Idiocracy. If you guys have not seen it, you definitely need to check it out. It's absolutely hilarious. It basically says we're basically becoming a little bit more individualistic and a much more simpler society where we're operating at that level 3, 2, and 1. And I just thought you guys would think it was funny. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
Pregnant again!
I got too many damn kids. Thought you was on the pill or some shit.
Hell no!
Must have been thinking of Brittany.
Brittany? There's no way we could have a child now. Not with the market the way it is now. He don't care about you.
Yeah, well, there must be something he likes over here.
Ain't nothing to me, baby. Oh, shit. It wasn't me.
Well, we finally decided to have children, and I'm not pointing fingers, but it's not going well.
It's always me, right?
Well, it's not my sperm count.
I think she thought she got me. I don't think she expected this as an answer. So this perception has become really common. And ironically, it's coming from a really high level of development. What they're saying is that we should all be allowed to do what we truly want and be who we are, and society's rules are just holding us back from our true selves. And that might be true if both you and your partner or partners are at this level, but that's really, really rare. So if you are a young person growing up and you hear that message that society is just holding us back from what we really want, you're not going to hear it at this level because you are not there yet. You're going to hear that message at the level that you are on, and it's going to sound like everyone else is trying to get their own way, and so I'm going to get mine. And the more that gets reinforced, the more you stay stuck, unable to learn the belonging and cooperation skills that are necessary to keep moving up the ladder.
So the question you're probably asking is, where are we getting these messages through our media, right? Like, where are they coming in? Here are a couple quick examples.
The Notebook. The most famous love story on the planet is about cheating.
Yes, it is.
Bridges of Madison County is about cheating. Titanic is cheating. Pearl Harbor is cheating. So all of these big box movie classics that are love stories are all based on infidelity.
I remember when I lost mine. I said 5 in the morning. I wake up to 5 in the morning.
So we've got to admit that watching this kind of content over and over again through society has an effect on our society. And in addition to this, when you add the fact that young folks are watching these things, and I've heard that young folks as young as 11 are actually watching P for the first time at the age of 11, you've got to admit that that does have an effect in society. If you've got people operating at a level 3, 2, and 1, what's good for me? This is answering the question that I've been asking myself, like, why are so many people voting for things that they should know that won't be good for them long term? Why are they voting for and doing things in their personal life that are not good for their long term benefit? Well, it's because they're operating at that level 3, 2, and 1. What's good for me, a very simplistic level. And if you were a government, if you were someone trying to control people, you would appeal to this group of people. And in fact, you'd want to create bigger and bigger groups of these kind of peoples, the 3s, 2s, and 1s, that are much easier to manipulate than the higher level thinking.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Before you guys come for me in the comments, the levels 3, 2, and 1, this is not an intelligence thing. So I'm not saying that people are not smart. What I'm saying is a level of self-awareness. And then it's a level of self-awareness that other people are self-aware, and then your position with them relative to society. So what he's talking about is our levels of awareness. So let's take a look at the levels of awareness. Level 1 is basically when we're born, right? I see, feel, smell, and hear through my senses. I feel reactions in these senses like fear, hunger, curiosity, sexual arousal. It's just a really basic level, and it's just like feel and react, essentially survival, right? The second level is I know that other people and animals are also have senses and desires and feelings, and I perceive feelings. So now you're perceiving that others have it, as you can see, continues to rise, right? And level 3 is I live in a world full of different people, each with their own agenda. And so now you can understand the total picture, a little bit better picture of what's going on at a level 3. So this has nothing to do with intelligence. It's just different levels of awareness, right? That chart, that's what it's talking about. So don't come for me in the comments saying that I'm saying a lot of Americans are stupid, even though there are some that are not that smart. Let me know what you guys think, but I really feel like there's something being said here. If I'm wrong about it, let me know, but I really feel that this is an important point that he's making right here.
In other words, if you want people to develop to these higher stages, which we do, they have to learn the rules before they can break them. Like if you want to do bike tricks, you have to start with the basics. You want to be a jazz musician, start with hot cross buns. So again, this message, it's saying why bother learning the rules before breaking them, and it's leaving a lot of people stuck. And then those stuck people will not be able to keep civilization functioning. It's not, feminism was invented yesterday and now everyone's going to be happy forever. There really are a lot of fluctuations between feminine and masculine control of society, and if you get too far in either direction, things get bad. And the Islamic world went too far in this direction and had an overcorrection, and now they are still hanging out up here. Some of this even happened recently. This was Iran in the 70s, and so was this. They look like they're from Wisconsin. That was before the Iranian Revolution. And let's not forget Afghanistan, then and now. So this lie that the more feminist things get, the happier everyone's gonna be, it just is not real life. In reality, hyper-feminization causes its own problems, and the reaction might not be fun.
The famous author Mark Twain once wrote that history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So I think what he's saying here is that history has a tendency to repeat itself. Maybe it's not exactly how it was done in the past, but it tends to repeat itself. And I think as Americans, we feel our country is so great that we just cannot fall. And I think that's a fallacy. I think that we are all subject to the rules of the bell curve, right? Things go up and they must come down eventually. And what I'd like to do is to to extend that bell curve as long as we can. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. I think he made some really good points about how relationships are going right now in general and how that affects society on a whole. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link to his channel and a description in the description below. If you guys like content like this, please don't forget to like, comment. This is a discussion. Really want to hear what you guys have to say, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.